To bring it back to Vienna, you said that Vienna is known as like one of the most livable cities in the world. I've heard that as well. Do you think that's an accurate description of the city?
Yes, but depends what you are looking for. So I would say it's very like, I don't want to say like family oriented, because like you don't need to have a family to want a city that is kind of like more relaxed, but this is what you are getting. So it's very, very chill. It's such a beautiful kind of like a um, big small city. It's like it's a city that it's about like 2 millions. So you have everything that you might want from a city, but at the same time, it's like small enough that you randomly meet your friends in the city. So this is this kind of city, and um, it's the most livable because it's very green. It's one of the greenest cities. Like I can take my bike and be in the hills with vineyards and with forests in 10 minutes. And at the same time, I can take my bike and in 15 minutes be in the city center at, I don't know, at the Schottentor or like Schwedenplatz. We had a lot of fun here, like we spent a lot of time in parks and exploring and like sitting in the vineyards, drinking wine. The public transport is great, so it's very easy to get around. And but I think like part of this livable kind of city brand is that there is a strong like people here really value work-life balance, and I think this is kind of a key, because like what's the point having like beautiful parks and beautiful buildings and beautiful museums and like other things to do in the city if you work all the time? So here, like on Friday after lunch, it's already like schönes Wochenende, okay? Like people are really like getting into the weekend mood. Everybody goes out, people drink, people eat outside, people go like do some sport, a lot of like outside activities, and they really really value kind of like this freedom to do stuff outside of work.
So are you saying that the quality of life in Austria isn't so much about, I don't know, the infrastructure or the public transit or the city itself? It's more about the culture that values having free time, and through that culture they've developed a way for you to, enjoy the weekend and things like that.
Yeah, I would say it's both, right? Like it's of course like much easier to, like, all of that is true. Like the infrastructure is good, taxes are high, but like you have to build all of that from something. Um, but I think the key is that they really value this time for themselves, for families, and they'll kind of like everything here empowered you to do so, right? Like you have a lot of vacation days. I think I have like 30 vacations day a year, plus of course like some holidays. You have of course like some like parental leaves and like sick leaves. I can take 2 days of sick leave without even going to the doctor. It's not required. It's like, oh, we trust you, like you are sick, just stay home. You don't have to go to the doctor. Like there's like so many things that adds up to that. I work 38.5 hours a week.
Okay.
Not even 40. Why? Because they want Friday to be shorter. So like those small things, but all of that kind of adds up to this like feeling that, yeah, you're allowed to have life. You're allowed to like, log out after like really disconnected after work and go for a beer with your friends to some like beer garden or go to the park with your family.
And if you live in Vienna and work 38.5 hours a week, is that enough to support a good lifestyle in the city?
Yeah, well, it's not exactly a cheap city. That's for sure. It's much cheaper than some of the, like the big ones like London or Paris. But if you have like two working parents with like some reasonable jobs, yeah, you will have plenty to go around. It will very much depends on your lifestyle, because there is like a lot of things that you can do just for free in Vienna. Um, well, there is like a lot of spaces like to grill, to like beautiful cycling paths. A lot of like museums are like free on some days and so on. But for example, if you like eating out, this is quite expensive, right? Like if you want to go to like pretty nice restaurant with your wife, maybe you have a bottle of wine. Yeah, you have to be prepared to spend like maybe 200 euro,
Oh,
which
okay.
is not cheap, right? Like you can find cheaper, but I'm saying kind of like, what you can expect. Mm, so yeah, it will very much depends. The big thing that helps is that the public transport is almost free. Like you pay 365 euro to access to everything for a year.
Okay, yeah,
So
that's really
like
cheap.
S-Bahn, U-Bahn, like buses, trams. So this is like €1 a day. This is nothing. And also, it's not exactly cheap, but apartment like renting is not outrageous.
Okay, so there are some things that are expensive and some things that are maybe a little bit more affordable.
So everything that is like services, so like restaurants, private doctor appointments, hairdressers, this is pretty expensive from my perspective at least. But yeah, like those like everyday stuff are pretty affordable, like groceries and public transport.
And so is that because a lot of those things are like government subsidized? And so with your high taxes, they make sure that those things are more affordable, like the transit, for example?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Transit is this is definitely subsidized, um, and um, and the apartments. Vienna is one of the, I think, biggest owners of like a property owners or something like this. Like it's a lot of apartments. I made a video about this. I have now I don't remember the numbers, but like a huge amount of apartments are either owned by the city or partially owned by the city. So kind of like some company were allowed to build, but they got the permission and the land with some conditions that like certain amount of apartments have to be affordable, and there has to be some space for shops and for like playgrounds and things like that. So it's all very heavily regulated, but yeah, it works. Like you can really find affordable apartments, and especially if you're Austrian, you can also like uh, find like some social programs. Like, oh, well, you don't have to be Austrian even. You have to be just like long enough in Vienna to qualify.
So, like, if you compared, let's say, Poland and Austria in terms of the average wages and the average cost of living, the relationship between those two, what do you think is more affordable?
So that's very interesting because when I was moving to Vienna, I was kind of surprised because I was looking at the offers. I was looking at those like monthly pays, and I was like, that's not that much more. I was like, something is. Am I not seeing something? Because like I knew that it would be more costly to live here. But then I learned that in Vienna, like in Austria, you often have 14 salaries instead of 12.
Okay.
Because here we have like one salary every month, and then one additional salary before summer, and one additional salary before Christmas. And those additional salaries are taxed differently. So they are even bigger than regular ones. They are like 100, almost 150% of your regular salary. So kind of like your yearly income is split in like 15 chunks really, and not like 12, which is interesting system. So you don't have to kind of save for Christmas or save for vacation, because there is like this bonus that you can use. So when I added everything together, I can live in Vienna, doing the same job as me and my wife doing the same job as we did in Poland on a similar level. However, the money that is kind of staying, that we are able to save, goes a longer way. Is this the expression?
Yeah.
Because it's a
Goes
similar kind
farther.
of
Goes farther.
goes further. Yeah, because it's a similar kind of portion of our income, but it's just higher. It's in euro, and we can feel that we can afford a little bit more, like a little bit nicer vacation, maybe a little bit nicer car, things like that.